Paul Brannen, Labour MEP for the North East, £46 million from the European Investment Bank towards building 12 new schools in the region. What's your reaction?
Well, at one level, great news. Always good to hear that there's going to be new schools built for our young people. Very important to have good quality buildings in which to have a good quality education. So great news. On another level, it's a shame that this Conservative-led government did end Labour's school building programme when they came to office a few years ago. And it's only now that we've really got things started again. So there's a bit of an irony here. We've seen a fairly anti-EU Conservative Party going to Brussels to get money from the European Bank to build schools, and of course it's very much on the eve of a general election, so I think some people will see it as a bit of a cynical move to announce new school building on the eve of a general election.
Building schools is very expensive. Does it then perhaps make sense to go to the European Investment Bank, to the EU, to try and leverage cash towards a project like this one?
Well, I think any British government needs to look around for the ways of raising the cheapest money for school building programmes. So in that sense, to go to the European Investment Bank is a sensible move because the level of interest is lower than it would be from a commercial bank.
What are the advantages then? You mentioned there the low interest rates, but what are the advantages of accessing EU money? Is it there for the taking? Are there other projects perhaps in the North East that could follow suit?
Well, it's very much the case that the northeast of England, as one of the poorest English regions, is well placed to benefit from the whole of the European project. Part of what the European project is about moving money from the richer parts of Europe to the poorer parts of Europe, and that can happen within countries. So within the UK, we are the poorest, alas, of the English regions, and there's been a long-standing process of moving money from the centre, if you like, to the northeast using the European mechanism. So good news for the northeast, and again it reminds us as to why it is good for the northeast to be part of the European Union.
And briefly to finish, 12 schools in the region getting money this time round. Are there more schools you feel that need investment? Is there a problem with the quality of school buildings in the region?
It's very important that the buildings in which our young people are educated are up to standard. That said, what happens inside those buildings is equally, if not more important. I've visited schools which have been physically in a bad state, but the teaching's been excellent and the pupils have been doing very well. We need both, and it's ironic that it's only late in the day, right up against the general election, that we've got this announcement coming out of new school building, but hopefully in future under a Labour government there will be more such good news.